Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so sorry I have not been on here recently. I just kind of decided to take a break and kind of reset the past few months, but I'm back and I'm ready, and I have so much great ideas and just so much things God has put in my heart, and I've written them all down in my notes, so I have a lot of good stuff to talk to you guys about. So today I want to talk to you about something very important in your single season, and it is 4 questions to ask yourself before dating. So basically, are you ready to date? And I want you guys to maybe take notes, write these things down, because these are really important if you're considering dating. You might have just started dating, you might still be in your single season. This is for anyone who is single, who is dating. These are just questions that God has put on my heart to talk with you guys about. So the first one is got contentment. So are you content with you and God? This is very important because you have to be content with God before you can let someone else into your life. It has to be you and God, and you gotta be running for God so hard when it's just you before He allows someone to come beside you. Because sometimes we can get so caught up in this idea of a relationship, in a marriage, of a family, that we lose sight of what's number one, what we need to be prioritizing. So maybe you're really thinking and you're really praying about a relationship, or really praying about marriage or a family, and you really want that. And God's trying to tell you, hey, slow down. Let's take a step back. Let it just be you and me, and let's get this solid foundation. Let's get this rock. Let's get this relationship, and let's be running, and then I'll let someone else come in your life. So the more willing you are to let go of something, the more you're ready to receive it from God. So are you content with serving God in your singleness? Are you content with serving God alone? I don't want you guys to get freaked out me asking this question, but are you content with serving God in your singleness? If you never get married, are you content with that? And I know it was like, whoa, what? Never get married. I'm not saying that you should put that out of your mind. That it's a good desire to have. It's biblical. God calls us to be with other people. I mean, the first time God said it is not good is when Adam was alone. He said it's not good for man to be alone. So He calls us and He wants us to be married. But sometimes we put marriage and dating and relationships above God. And sometimes we have to take those steps back and peel off those layers and get back to when it's just you and God. And when you're content with that, and when you're serving God wholeheartedly, that's when you know you're ready to date. It's when you know you're ready to serve somebody else. So my next question is, got yourself. So do you know yourself? Do you know what you want? Do you know your strengths, your weaknesses, your passion, the purpose God has put in your life? Are you running after that purpose? Are you serving in that purpose? It is so important to know yourself, because it's so important to become the healthiest version of yourself, so you can give that healthiest version of yourself to somebody else. And I'm not saying that we have to be perfect. I had this problem and I was like, I need to be perfect. I can't date. Like, I'm not ready. And I was thinking I wasn't ready because I was still struggling with things. And there's things that you need to heal in your heart when in your single season, but we're struggling with something all the time in our life, and we have to know that. We have to know what we're bringing into a relationship and get to know ourselves so much and know what we're looking for, because we have to know what we're looking for when it comes to personality, their hobbies, their passion, their traits. And I'm not saying traits as in like tall, blonde, blue-eyed, muscular man. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying traits of the heart. They're traits of their love for God. You need to be able to identify that. And it's so important to identify that, because when you're looking for a partner in life, you want them to love God with all their heart, because that's how they're going to love you. Love is a resemblance of your acceptance of God's love for you. So how you love God is how you're going to love other people. So also really important is, this might sound weird, but do they want to be hanging out in groups all the time, or are they more of like a homebody? In previous relationships with me, I've dated an introvert before, and it just didn't work out. As in, he was amazing, but we just didn't, our ways of hanging out were not the same. I wanted to go hang out with friends. He just wanted to hang out with us. And it's sometimes when you have a partner in life that's going to clash later on. So it's so important to know those big things and those things that you're looking for when you are ready to date. So do you know those things? Do you know what you're looking for? Do you know yourself? Do you know what you have to offer? Or do you love yourself? So that's also I talked about that in our first video, 4 must-dos in your singleness is loving yourself. So if you haven't watched that video, definitely go check that out. So my third one is God community. This is so important. This is so important for me. Community is everything. So I know you guys have probably heard the term dating community, and there's a lot of different definitions around that. My definition is allow others to be with you in your relationship, not controlling it, not telling you what to do, but being able to date community and having those relationships and those friendships around you that will see your relationship from the outside, because sometimes you can't see things when you're right in the relationship. You need eyes that are around you, and your community, your friends, your family, it's scary to admit, but they know you better than you do sometimes, and they can see things that you don't. So you want community to be there to witness your relationship and to see things that you might not see, and to also hold you accountable, be with you in that relationship, because you want to do life in community. You also want to do your relationship in community. You want to have those people that will grow with you and will flourish with you and will help you and encourage you biblically in your relationship. So the last thing is got the right motives. This is big, guys. Motives are everything. So I want to ask you, why do you want to date? What is the purpose? Are you looking for companionship, physical, emotional fulfillment, or social acceptance? Or are you wanting your relationship to glorify God? That is a big question, because when we look to someone else to fulfill us, we're never going to get fulfilled. And God is the only person that can fulfill us. So what are your motives with wanting a relationship? Are you wanting that companion? Are you wanting someone to talk to? Or are you wanting to serve God? Because God, the reason of marriage is to serve God. And the reason of marriage is to serve God better than you can do alone. So as Christians, we must do the soul work necessary to be the healthiest version of us, so that we can give the best versions of ourselves to our spouse. And as Christians, we are called to honor God, and that is in our relationships. Our relationships reflect God's glory and how God is working in our lives. And when God's at the foundation of a relationship, He can do so many things with that relationship. It is crazy. So something big is, when you know you truly want a relationship to glorify God, your prayer changes from God, give me the one, to God, help me become the one and bring the right person in my life that will help glorify you. In Luke 22:42, it says, not my will, but your will, God. So when we give up what we want, when we stop chasing things that don't glorify God, and we start putting God first, and we start putting God above the things that we desire, when we desire Him first, He will start putting those pieces in our lives, and He will start bringing those people in our life, and He will bring the one in our life. So we have to be ready, and we have to be ready for Him to give us what He wants to give, because He just wants to bless us. So I'm super excited for this whole series. As I said before, during this time, I've just been doing a lot of thinking and a lot of praying, and I'm so excited to go through this journey with you guys, from singleness to dating to engaged to married. I actually just recently started dating someone a little over 2.5 months ago, and it is absolutely amazing what God can do whenever you press into Him and you put Him first. I've seen it firsthand, and I'll get into that in a little bit. You'll probably meet him on here. He's excited to come on here, and I want you guys to hear his story. So I'm really excited for this journey, and yeah, if you guys have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. So I'll see you guys next time. Bye.